After finishing Halo Campaign Evolved, I was reminded that this is the remake of one of the most important games ever made. But listen, understanding legacy and recommending that someone spend their limited free time playing today is two totally different things. This campaign gave me moments that I could not stop thinking about, but it also gave me sections where I was kind of questioning whether I was enjoying myself or whether I was just determined to finish what I started. Now, by the end of it all, my opinion wasn't what I expected. So, this leaves the question: did Halo earn my time because it was a great experience? Or did I finish it mainly because of its reputation? Let's find out. Now, as we know, Halo in itself is legendary, and it's been legendary for the last 2 decades. But with that comes added pressure, especially for a remake of such a legendary game, right? When you play this, you're not just playing it as the first time. You're actually sitting there comparing it to the original time that you played it. And you're trying to find or trying to develop or hoping that it develops new feelings or at least builds upon the feelings that you gained when you first started. Because I remember when Halo first came out, we all ran, got it, right? Playing it, it was a different experience, right? I can't lie, I didn't finish the campaign. I got through probably 75% of it, but I didn't finish it. Okay. What locked me in on Halo was that time I took my controller, took it over my homie's house, and we started doing the four screen multiplayer, right? Or I grabbed the whole Xbox and we would have a LAN party. Okay. So there's already predetermined feelings and emotions and memories built around that game. So this remake now has to add on to that, which can be a very tough feat to do. Now, did it? So, as we know, playing games as a kid is totally different, right? I had all the time in the day to pick up the controller and rock with no second thought about it, right? As an adult, we have work, we have responsibilities, we have family, we have a lot of our time that doesn't even belong to us, right? So sitting there and getting 2 to 3 hours, if we're lucky, playing doesn't mean that you always feel like gaming, right? Like there's sometimes I just want to sit on the couch and just do nothing. So Halo really had to convince me that it was worth picking up that controller and actually gaming on top of the pressure from the old game, right? So, as you know, I accepted the contract. So, when I first put on the game and it loaded up, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you. I caught a rush of that old experience. When you hear the Halo music and you see the visuals now updated into higher graphics, it does something to you. I'm not even gonna hold you. It definitely does something to you. Um, then you start to play a little bit and you see Master Chief come out of the cryo sleep, and you're like, oh, the legend's back. But, but, getting my attention was not the same thing as keeping it. So did the game make me want to play it more and more? I have to be honest with you. There were moments in the campaign, like I stated, that I could not stop thinking about, and I was like, "Man, I need to see the next part. It's time to go to sleep. I gotta get up for work early in the morning. But you know what? Let me give it like 30 more minutes." There was times like that. But then there was also times that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get to this point. I'm gonna save, and I'm done for the night. Okay. So I did sometimes lose track of time. I did want to call out of work sometimes, but then there was times that I was like, you know what? I hit a certain point in the mission and I was like, you know what? I'm done for today. One, I don't know about y'all, but I played on normal mode, okay? Don't beat me up. I just wanted to play the walkthrough and get through it. So I played on normal mode, but I was getting handed. Like I was getting B to A in a lot of these missions. And I'm not gonna lie. Did I rage a few times? I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth with that. So there were moments where I was like, you know what, I've had enough. I've had enough. Because there was some missions where them Covenant or the Flood, boy, they was something else. They was something else. But at the same time, that frustration too brought on a curiosity that wanted to continue. So it was twofold in it, right? If you understand what I'm saying, it was twofold with that. Now I have to say, the walkthrough and playing through the campaign, it did respect my time, right? As adults, we have limited time. It did respect my time as far it wasn't a long campaign. And obviously, you remember from the past one, the first one wasn't really a long campaign. So the bonus missions and everything, it still respected the time. So I could give it that 1, 2 hours and still complete the game in a decent amount of time. I think for me, it took about five, give or take about 5 hours, 5, 6 hours of gameplay time. Because, like I said, there were some moments that were very difficult, and I'm sitting there like, Halo, I know you're legendary, but hold on, you ain't have to remind me like this. But it was in a good taste. It was in a good taste, but it definitely did respect my time. I'm proud that it wasn't super long, and I'm proud that they didn't overdo it. So it definitely respected the time that I had and gave me time to be able to rock, right? Even though sometimes I had to knock my kids off of it. That can tell you something too, right? The moment the game changed, I would say would have to be the introduction of the flood. More enemies in the atmosphere was insane. Okay. It was actually insane. Frustrating at the same time, but insane. Because when you got Covenant fighting Flood, you're fighting the Covenant, then you're switching to the Flood, they're fighting each other. It was literally war. And I love the way they kind of did it, right? At some points, there were a little bit too much where the flood was overwhelming, especially those little bugs. Oh my goodness. Oh, them little ones were a pain in the behind. They were out of control. Out of control. You're sitting there wasting bullets like wasting bullets trying to hit these stupid things, and then they come back and try to hit you. Um, but it was like I said, it was in good taste. It definitely got frustrating at points, but it was nice to see and cool to remember like the flood and the covenant fighting and then you're fighting and this whole story. It basically gave you a good refreshment in a great way of the old story. It was and there was times that you're sitting there and you're like, man, I've had enough. Then you ask yourself, did the game follow me after I turned off the screen? I would have to say yes, it did. There was times like I'll be sitting there cuddling up with the wife, watching a movie on my off nights of playing games, and I was like, man, I would love to pick up that controller right now and start playing. There definitely was times. So the game definitely outside of playing it was calling me. I I plead the fifth when I say, did I call out of work? Hey, I'm not putting that on camera. So, but there were times that definitely outside of playing the game, I was thinking about it. And not in a fashion of just like I needed to be determined to complete it, but in a fashion that I actually wanted to play it. Now, I did want to complete this game because I didn't finish the first one. 75% of it I did in the first one, but I didn't complete it because I jumped onto the multiplayer. But definitely with this one, I wanted to play more. So, what did I actually feel playing this game? I felt a roller coaster of emotions. From start to finish, a roller coaster of emotions. I could say in the beginning, hearing the Halo music, I was up here. When the Warthog drops down in your first ride in it, I was up here. Like that was nostalgia at its best, right? Getting into that, having the soldiers jump on, you going in there, they're shooting, you jump out, da 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 da. You can't beat that. Introduction of the flood, high points. There was many high points, but boy, were there some low points. I remember one time I was getting blown up literally as I logged into the game, like from a death, I got blown up again. And then literally blown up again because the freaking covenant, the little ones would be like bombs. Like and you'll load in right at that last point, hit them, boom, and you're gone again. Also, there was some lows with the flood. Holy crap. When them little things starting to chase you, like I said before, and you're getting hit from left and right, Covenant shooting you, Flood shooting you, it did get frustrating, and I I raged quit a couple times. But I jumped right back on. I jumped right back on, but I did rage quit a couple times. So the game gives you a great feeling of both ups and downs. Hopefully you can get past those downs, but because they were more ups than they were downs. But overall, a good feeling. It definitely took me back in the day with the game and built upon it with the graphics, the gameplay, and so forth like that. The money question, right? We know these games are getting out of hand. They're getting massively expensive. Massively. Was this game worth the money to play? At its current price, the experience, um, mm, we'll save that for the verdict. So comes the question of who this game is actually for. I would say this game is for majority of folks. It respects your time. It definitely has you wanting to play more. Um, Graphically looks good. The story, I mean, the story's legendary, right? It's Halo. This is one of the games that I know for most sits up on Mount Rushmore, and there's a reason for that. So being a game that takes about, I say, 5 to 6 hour playtime, it definitely respects your time. So I would say this game is really for anyone. Anyone that has limited time, that just wants to jump on a controller and get to the action, definitely this. You're not sitting there leveling up a character, building up this. Yes, you can go collect the skulls, you can go do this type of stuff, but that's only if you want to. If you just want to jump into a campaign, kill some Covenant, beat up on some Flood, drive your Warthog, have this massive battle between the two, this game is for you. This game is definitely for you. So this is the final verdict. Now, some of y'all might not agree with me. My opinion is that Halo Campaign Evolved is definitely worth your time and your money. Oh my goodness. You know what? This game brought me back. It took me back 2 decades ago to where the series started. and gave me the same feelings that I had back then. And I thank it for that. This game reminded me of why I love gaming. It with the increased graphics, and like I said, you have to be careful with making remakes of games this legendary. But I would have to say they did an amazing job. An amazing job. The graphics, the story was still on point. The bonus mission was amazing. The weapons, the covenant, the flood, even though you would get frustrated at sometimes and be like, I'm done with this, it was all in good taste. It wasn't too overwhelming and it was refreshing. To hear that Halo music again, chef's kiss to that. And I'm keeping it 100, right?
You did that on
That
purpose,
was
didn't you?
an awesome
There must have been something
experience
wrong with the
that
core.
honestly I'm going to play over and over again. It definitely is one of those games that you
We
gotta
need to get
keep
to the bridge.
around
From there,
and
we can
play
initiate
again.
an overload of the
Especially,
ship's
I'm
fusion
gonna
core.
lock it in with my
The
kids
explosion should
because my
damage
son
enough
takes over my
systems
game
below it to
system, and I
destroy
even
them.
had a hard time finishing the walkthrough because he wanted to play so much. So the game definitely is gonna lock me into playing the co-op mode with him, and we're gonna go through this whole thing together and experience that. But I have to say, Halo Campaign Evolved is definitely worth it. Must buy for anybody who played it before. And if you haven't played the Halo campaign, this is it. All right, guys. Listen, this was your Halo campaign Evolve review from the Hideout, giving you the realness. Forget all that 9.7, 9.2, 5.5s. We've heard that before. Does a game respect your time? Does it make you vanish to your hideout? Does it make you not want to take on your responsibilities or escape away from them? That's what a review is about. That's what this one's about. And I have to say, Halo is that game. All right, until we take on our next contract, y'all be safe, stay clear, keep gaming, and I'll see you then.